I'm David. Thank you for joining me in this how to play video of Codenames Duet. Hopefully you've had a chance to check out the playthrough video and the review video. So Codenames Duet is part of our project to review the top 100 family games on Board Game Geek according to Board Game Geek users. As of September 2019, Codenames Duet is still in the top 10 of the top 100 family games. So let's take a look at the premise for the game. According to the rules here, your part, by the way, this is a cooperative version of Codenames. So that's what makes this unique versus the other versions. So Julie and I were two covert operatives. We're on a secret mission in a crowded city. Each knows 9 secret agents that the other must contact. Communicating is encoded messages. So we have to do that to sneak past enemy assassins in an attempt to complete their mission before time runs out. So let's look at the setup. You'll start out with 5x5 grid of words, and you have this many stacks of words to choose from here. Well, you just do it randomly. So lots of replayability. So you set up in 5x5. Now I have it facing this way so you can see the bold words, but the other player can see them this way, just not as in bold. So if you notice here, you can't see it. So I would face this towards the player that might need more vision, might have vision problems, and the other player can see it this way. Then you stick your stack of 15 agents off to the side. Here's the assassin token. And then you have bystanders. If you guess the wrong card, which I'll explain in a minute how that works, but it's also used to keep track of time. You turn it over for checks. So basically we have 9 turns, Julie and I, to guess the 15 agents. So what you're going to do then is you're going to pick your key cards. You'll pick one key card, and there's plenty of them here, again, for a lot of replayability. So it will be set up like this, where I'll see this side, and Julie will see that side. You'll see that there's an overlap. So green is where my 9 agents are that I want her to communicate to me. Well, I'm going to communicate to her so she can identify them. And then on her side, she also has 9 agents that she's going to try to communicate to me to identify. Now, you notice the grid matches the layout of the words. So she does not want me to guess lip. If I guess lip or purse or monkey, we're both out of the game because this is a cooperative game. On my side, if she guesses blind, purse, or mark, she's out of the game and we're both out if she does that. Because there's 15 agents, there'll be 3 agents that overlap. So on her side, she wants me to guess salt, country, sweat, door, mark, mother, bowler, elephant, and smell. On my side, I want her to guess salt, rail, wood, sweat, so there's an overlap right there, miss or Ms, garden, actually that'd be miss, garden, I'm going to make sure I do this right here, bowler, monkey, and igloo. So there's 3 that are overlapping. So that's the setup. So the first thing that we're going to do when we get our key card, we're going to look at what words, which 9 words that we have. Julie's going to do the same thing. And we're going to look for similarities, for associations, because since we only have 9 turns, it's about, maybe if I go first, I'll take 5 turns and Julie will take 4, and then there'll be a sudden death round, which I'll explain in a moment. So if we just said, for instance, plane 1, if I said that, Julie would probably guess delta here, even though that's not one of the clues that I want her to guess. But the point is, if I only gave one word and one number, there would not be enough time tokens to win the game, because at most I would get her to guess 5 words, and then she would get me to guess 4. We would lose because there would be 6 agents left to guess. So we got to be able to make associations between 2 or more words to get your teammate to guess those words. So how do you give clues? You saw me say one word and a number. So and if you look at this grid layout, if I were to say animal 3, Julie could pick monkey, elephant, and sloth. The problem with that, though, is that if you look at my grid here, only monkey is needed, not sloth and not elephant. So that would not be a good clue to give, because she only needs to get monkey. If she were to guess elephant first, she would identify a bystander, and I would point it towards her like this, ending the turn. The reason why I pointed towards her is because elephant might be one of the words I need to guess. Now, if elephant happened to be the assassin, you'd cover it up and the game would end. So I would want, since monkey is the only animal on here I need her to guess, I could say something like ape 1. And she'd look around and says, okay, well, what's in the same species? Okay, monkey. So she would pick that one. She'd put an agent over the top, and then she could try to guess other words, but I haven't given any other clues. So she would end the turn, take a time marker in front of her right here, and then it would be her turn to give me clues. As it turns out, that happened to be her assassin. It's not one of the overlapping words, so at least, though, I won't be picking that word as the assassin. Because on my side, that word is an agent. But on her side, that word is an assassin. And that's okay, because if she guesses that word on my side, right here, it's an agent on my side of the key card. So the point is, though, I got to get her. So if we look here again, I have salt, rail, wood, miss, garden. If we go back to this again, bowler, monkey, igloo, and sweat. So I'd have to come up with something like tracks 2. She'd look around. She might say tunnel, that's the only problem, but if she were to guess rail and wood, say she did guess that successfully, and that's 2 of my clues. She points to rail, that's fine. Let's say, though, she did point to tunnel by mistake, because I didn't give a good enough clue. I covered up with a bystander. Luckily, it wasn't an assassin, so the turn would end. Now, she might remember that clue for the next turn. Now, for me, though, she's going to give me a clue for her agents. She might say smelly 2. Well, she can't say smell, because you can't use a word with any contractions or prefixes or suffixes. So she'd have to come up with a synonym. She could say stinky 2, because smell is one of her words, and sweat is. Hopefully I don't guess any animals that smell. So I'd guess smell. I cover it up. Let's say I did guess sweat. Cover it up. And then I'd pass. So then I take a time token and put it here. And then it becomes her turn. I'd give her another clue. Now let's say I did say Eskimo 1. She guesses igloo successfully. She could still try to remember that clue I gave her from the past turn. And she says, okay, what else is part of tracks? Wood is. So then she guessed it right. and she probably would want to stop, so she takes a time token. So we keep on exchanging like this, going back and forth until we get all 15 agents, or we run out of time tokens, or the assassin is revealed, which means the game would end. Now let's say we did cover up we used up all the agents right here, except 2, and we had all the time tokens used up. We can go into sudden death, and we decide who wants to go first, and we can pick one of the, so it actually would be split up like this, covered out like this. Let's say, and there are still 2 more clues to get. I can go first to say, is it sloth? And if I was right, then we'd cover it up. If I was wrong and it was a bystander, the game would end. Or if it was assassin, the game would end. So when you use all 9 of your time tokens, you go to sudden death, and you could take turns. Well, first you would say how many clues are left. I'd say I have 1 clue left, Julie has 1 clue left. Or I could say, Julie says I have 0 clues left, and I say I have 2 left. So then it would be up to her to try to guess the remaining 2, because I've already guessed all of hers. So that's sudden death. Now, one thing that the game includes to make it a little easier, which Julie and I have to play with, you could play with a 10th or 11th time token to make it a little easier, which we have to play with because we're not too good at this game. So that's the basic game. You have a side with 9 on this side, 9 on this side, 3 overlapping each to try to get to 15 agents without getting the assassin or using all your time tokens. There are rules here, though, for campaign, the mission map, which if we get 100 likes, we'd be happy to do that. And the mission map, let me show you real quick what that looks like. You go at different parts of the world, which shows you how many clues you have and how many times you can make mistakes. So that's the how to play, really easy game to learn and teach of Codename Duet. Hopefully you get a chance to check out the playthrough and the review. Again, if you like the video or subscribe, we appreciate that. If we get 100 likes, we will do basically the campaign version of it, of Codenames Duet, and you can see us struggle. We're not too good at this game, like I said, but maybe by the time we do this, we'll be better at it. So I'm David. Thank you for watching.